Hello, internet. Nixie here. I am in my backyard smoking a bowl because life is too fucking much. And I wanted to post more Facebook rants, but just figured I'll take you along while I smoke my bowl and think about some things that are bothering me that I don't know if other people realize, like how shitty they are. So, people who are friends with me or follow me on any of my social media are probably aware that I am disabled. I'm like pretty disabled. I have severe anxiety, I have PTSD, I have fibromyalgia, I have chronic migraines and digestive issues, and I am asthmatic and anemic, and I have an eating disorder. I'm a hot mess of a person, and I am on aish. Getting on aish was a 2-year process for me, fighting to convince people that I am not capable of having a job, a full-time job, taking care of myself. I need help, I need support, and getting on aish was supposed to help. It was supposed to make me feel more secure and safe and be able to not thrive, but just be able to exist and not worry about working. I always had the intention of looking for a part-time job. I mean, sitting at home all the time is really boring. Having a job is also super stressful, and a lot of things that come up with that, but it was never my intention to just never work again. I do all sorts of work that isn't always monetary value exchange, but I do tons of work, and in Alberta we are under conservative power, and it's messed up. So many changes have happened with aish in less than a year, and I honestly don't know what's real and what isn't, because there's no fucking communication from aish. Everything has to be found on the website, or I call my worker and ask them direct questions that either they don't have the answer to, or they tell me an answer that I'm not sure is true. My worker said that no, we don't have to continuously prove that we're still disabled on aish because of these changes, but I keep seeing people posting about it, and I have limited capacity for fact-checking and researching. I have ADHD, and it's really fucking hard sometimes to read a page of information. I did not do well in school. I'm very smart in my own ways, but when it comes to absorbing information and integrating it and remembering it, it's terrible. And it's hard to know what's real, especially when you don't completely trust people or the government. You don't really trust anybody to not be skewing the information with their own biases, including myself. I'm not perfect. I can't say that I don't ever skew things. I don't do it intentionally, but it's a thing that happens, and there are certain people of political power that we know have lied about incredibly terrible things to lie about in very recent times in regards to very prevalent issues, and I don't know. So I can't even trust my aish worker to give me accurate information, because I don't know that she even has accurate information. And today I saw a post that the eligibility criteria has been changed, and I read it, and it doesn't, upon initial reading, doesn't seem super different from the previous setup in terms of eligibility. The process is different, wherein they're evaluating your general eligibility and then your disability eligibility and then your financial, which is different, whereas before I think it was just the medical and then financial was just sort of like checked at the end to make sure you weren't secretly sitting on a bunch of money. This the process is so fucked, and I know that it has always been highly encouraged that aish recipients look for work and are encouraged to work as much as they can, and that's different for every person, and that's not new, but the phrasing of it, I think, has changed, and the framework around it, and now they are saying like we have to be looking for reasonable work. So it's still vague enough that it can be manipulated, and it's very scary because, I mean, I tried for a very, very long time to operate within the boundaries of society and have a full-time job and work and whatever, and it didn't work. I couldn't do it, and then getting on aish was supposed to just like be stability, that I didn't have to worry about looking for work. I wanted to, I still needed to, but like I had enough to survive on. And with all of the changes that are happening, they changed the payment day from like 5 business days from the end of the month. I honestly like I said, I mean, I've been on aish for almost a year now, I think, and got paid several times. Also, literally my second payment, like I got approved and got my first month's payment, and then the next month where it was automated, I did not get paid, and I don't always, I lose track of time. I'm not always aware of things. I'm disabled. I don't, like, the amount of things that they expect us to keep track of. Like, I understand, like, we have to be responsible for ourselves and for take our own care, but also, like, we are literally disabled enough that, you know, we have been able to convince you that we are disabled enough that we can't work and that we need help to survive, and we still have to keep track of all of these things. So many appointments were missed, documents not sent or received, phone calls not returned on my journey trying to just get approved, and I have been looking like this the whole time. I've had my eyes open for work, and like nothing ongoing or steady or reliable has come up that was suitable for my abilities and my strengths and my skills. And now I'm terrified that I not only am going to have to prove to them every single year that I am still severely disabled and unable to maintain a full-time job, while also providing them information to back up that I have been looking for work. What? And like, I'm lucky. I have good days where I am able to sit down and bust out a bunch of paperwork and get some stuff done, make some phone calls and stuff, but most of my days are not like that. When I am feeling okay, when my symptoms are managed and I have been sleeping and eating well, which is almost never, when there's a deadline, sometimes I'm super productive, but those days are so few and far between and highly reliant on the people around me and having the support that I need. And I am very lucky because I have a ton of support. I have incredible friends that help me run errands, get places, pick things up for me, remind me to make phone calls, call me to make sure I'm up for appointments. And they've been doing this for a long time, and now everything has changed. I've been looking for a new place to live for months, and it is expensive, and I have had conversations with landlords telling me how they are so special because they are paying lower rates for their rental suites, and you know, they are doing well in comparison with the market, but the market is not a fair or reliable way to compare things because it's just not, like, it's all blown out of proportion. Before I was approved for aish, I was on welfare and was desperately in need of a place when I was in a situation that felt unsafe, that was severely affecting my mental and physical health, and I was denied for the number one recommendation that everyone has when you're looking for housing as a poor person, Capital Region Health. I got fucking denied. I didn't even know I got denied because they never contacted me. They sent me a letter, apparently, which in my defense, maybe I didn't update my address and it was sent right as I was moving out of that terrible place. Maybe I read it and I was so upset and distraught that I have completely forgotten that I received that letter. Maybe I received it, I lost it and never read. I don't know, but like, I went to that office as a person who needs help getting places. I went to that office like 3 times myself and sent other people other times. I made so many phone calls. I had the man's name and I sent that man an email, I think. I definitely called his direct voicemail multiple times saying, where's my application? They told me it should be on your desk and you should be evaluating it. What's happening? And now, 3 years later, I send an email being like, there's a fucking pandemic at which I'm high risk. I also have, I don't even know if I mentioned this, I have contamination OCD, and agoraphobia, so literally just like leaving the house and like going outside of my space is terrifying, and that has never really, I mean, there's the germophobia, like I said, and there is like some sense to that phobia and problem that I have, but like the general fear of being outside of the house is just this general anxiety that I've just never quite been able to place until someone said, well, that's agoraphobia, and then I talked to my doctor, and well, okay, so now I have agoraphobia, and also there's a really good fucking reason to be fearful for leaving the house, and everything is trying to be put back onto normal track, and we're not ready for that, and that's putting so many people at risk. People who are not fortunate enough to be on a $1,685 a month payment that's not even guaranteed for any sort of future. There are people that are forced to work for minimum wage, and like, there's so many people at risk and so many people not taking it seriously, or like, I literally live in a city that had protesters against the lockdown. Like, and like, it can't be surprising because of this conservative, like, it's I'm losing my mind. I've been denied so many places. I've had so few calls back about places. I'm very, very lucky to be in a situation with very understanding landlords and very understanding roommate, that even though this place is not well for me, it's not good for me, I am okay to be here, I can stay here, but I am terrified of what the future holds in terms of my risk factor, managing my symptoms, isolating, because I already do that anyways, and now I'm literally terrified to be anywhere near any of my friends. I'm planning a move. I'm disabled and overwhelmed by everything. I need help, and I freak out anytime someone steps foot in my house, and I don't know, it's all fucked, and I'm not dealing well with any of it, so I'm smoking weed, and yeah, I don't know, I wish people understood how scary this all is, and I don't even feel that in my video I have been able to like really go into the depth of the concerns that I have about these things, but I have to start somewhere, and yeah, I just wish, I hope that people like see the things that are happening right now and recognize that there are good things that can come from this in terms of accessibility and compassion towards others, and like, I'm fucking tired. I've been fighting to like have the fucking right to survive, like not the right to survive, but like I've been fighting to survive, and I try so hard to fight for other people's rights and better treatment of other people, and I stretch myself so thin, and I know I'm not the only one. And I just hope that people who have energy, I know that there's tons of people that are, but like, if you can think about making a phone call and pick up the phone and make that call, can you do that and like call your MLAs or whoever, whatever, I don't know. I'm too fucked up to figure shit out. I send emails and make phone calls when I can, and it's a struggle to do that. If that is a thing you can do, fucking do it. Raise hell. Like, shit's exhausting. Disabled and homeless and people of color and queer people, like, we all deserve to like have happy and safe places to live and to be able to feed ourselves and like live. And I'm so scared for so many people right now, even if we're doing like better in terms of cases and deaths and stuff like that. Like, I know our numbers are pretty good in Alberta and in Edmonton are really good, but it's a lot. So I am gonna cut this off. Thank you if you've stuck around this long. This is just history someday. Memory for me if who knows. But thanks for sticking around if you did. Bye.